Now, late Thursday evening, the fourth round of the US Open has not concluded, and I'm joined in what is hopefully a quiet corner of the media centre by the dutiful Brian Keogh.
Still here.
Still here. Brian, I was going through your Twitter feed this morning and you posted something interesting, which is quite unusual for you. So there was two photographs and a caption over it saying some contrast in 24 hours. Tell us about the two photographs.
Yeah, well, you get the 4:45 bus, you get in here at about 6 o'clock because of the traffic and all the rest of it. Quick cup of coffee, out onto the veranda for a gander at the golf course. Yesterday, beautiful day.
Did you have the Hamlets out at that stage?
I did. I had a little quick Hamlet and looking out and I'm going, how lucky we are to be here. And beautiful sunrise, few little clouds, sun coming up, a little bit of pink on the top of it. Little photograph, Twitter, fodder, put that up. Today went out, same deal, looked out.
Same
grey,
time.
Couldn't see anything, hardly see the lights at the back of the green. Same time, grey, not miserable. It wasn't raining or anything, but it was just a bit cold, windy, and just total contrast. A little bit misty as well, just a sort of a tinge of a mist.
Yeah. Now the thing about this place is they got stats and reports and everything, and pieces of paper and everything, on everything. And one of those pieces of paper is a very detailed, and you can see it here. You can see it here. Very detailed weather forecast.
They love the weather over here. They're obsessed with it.
And they're pretty good with it. Now, read the first two lines of this morning's forecast at 5 a.m. What's it say?
Yes. Strong storm system is expected to impact today's weather in two modes: strong southerly winds and light precipitation. The wind speeds are forecast to increase dramatically through lunchtime, with peak gusts reaching towards 30 to 36 miles per hour in the 12 to 5 p.m. time frame. Very detailed.
Now, but where in that extremely detailed forecast does it mention fog?
Yeah, not a mention.
How can they get something like that so wrong?
Yes, I know. The weather forecasters over here, they like predictability. They wouldn't last long in Ireland, where it's you sort of hedge your bets a little bit.
So it's foggy. I go and get out
very foggy.
I go and get, because they predicted rain as well. I go and get my rain suit, the first group goes to the tee at 6:35. And
half an hour they got.
Half an hour they got.
Yeah, it got worse. The fog sort of started rolling in as the first guys were going down the first hole. They were going off the 10th as well. By the time the second group came through, you could barely see the green. And when the third group had hit off, it was pretty bad. And next minute, the hooter goes, 7:05, 30 minutes play. They say, okay, lads.
Play is suspended until the fog lifts.
Yeah, stay in place. Don't go in. Just stay where you are. Let's see if it blows over.
They thought this might be a kind
10
of
or 15
temporary
minute job.
10 or 15 minute job.
Yeah.
And after 10 or 15 minutes, they bring the groups in. They're on the course.
Yeah, it was about 25 minutes. Yeah, 20 odd minutes. Yeah, brought them in. Yeah.
And then it's kind of, we'll update you another 15 minutes, another 15 minutes, another 15 minutes, and basically 2 hours.
Yeah, it was 10 to 9 before they told them, listen, lads, you're going back out at 5 past 9.
5 past.
So that was a 2 hour delay.
So 2 hours delay, and they got 15 minutes then.
Pretty much,
to get ready to go back again.
Yeah, not much time.
Now, I've got a photo here, Brian, and it's my favourite place on the golf course. It's a little wooden bench.
Oh, yeah.
And it sits opposite the players' lounge, this temporary players' lounge they've erected where the players can go and eat and change and get their physio and all that. And I sat there watching this chaos, the ensuing chaos when they announced that play resumed. And I've got some photos here of Harry Higgs. This is Harry Higgs and Matthew Jordan looking for bogeys and heading back out to play again. I've got Tyrrell Hatton looking at his phone. I've got Harry Diamond running back out to the range. I've got Rory and Tommy Fleetwood walking casually to the range. And then I've got Rory going to the 10th tee where he was starting his round around the back of the clubhouse to get to the 10th tee. Now, the point is, it was different for all of them. Rory had been out when the hooter went off. Had been out on the range rather, had gone back in and had some time to actually do a bit of a warm-up before he was back out again.
Yeah. Well, they're used to this.
They're used to this, yes.
They are used to this. I mean, Padraig was on the range. Graham was on the range. They were supposed to go off at about 7:15, and of course they're trying to fill time during the gap. So they interview Padraig and they interview Graham, and Padraig's going, well, look, this is all part of the deal. I mean, I've just been in for a physio. I fell asleep for 10 minutes up early. I'm getting a bit old, in fact, I wouldn't mind coming back to bed. And he was saying, look, this is normal. Got on with it. In fact, the wind has dropped. In fact, I wouldn't mind going out in the fog now. I can't see a thing, but I'd prefer to go out with no wind. And Graham was, looking forward to it, a bit of trepidation to his round. But anyway, the lads
and young Wills was with him.
Young Wills. Was Young Wills there? Well, you were out there keeping an eye on all that
stuff.
Young
Wills was with him on the range. I got a picture of him, photo of him, yeah.
Nine.
So I followed then Rory. You're following Padraig. I follow Rory out to around the back of the clubhouse to the 10T. And this is how his second US Open at Shinnecock Hills begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a previously scheduled 7:52 a.m. tee time. Please welcome from Northern Ireland, our 2011 US Open champion, Rory McIlroy.
Now, Brian, let's go back to your Twitter feed, because you posted something about your two reports today and what it says on your Twitter feed. The first one was a good start for the 6-time major winner, and the second was major winners Graham McDowell and Padraig Harrington blown off course early at the US Open.
Yeah.
Let's start with Graham and Padraig and how that optimism on the range didn't actually pan out.
Yeah. We'll start with Padraig. I mean, Padraig, made a good part on the first, good par on second, and the wind was howling at that stage across, and Padraig was not driving the ball well. In fact, it was with Caroline Harrington, and she saw him hit it in the rough on the third, and she said, that's not a good lie. She knows the body language so well. He had both hands on the hips, and when both hands are on the hips, that's not great. So bogeyed 3, bogeyed 4, bogeyed 5, in the wind with the gusts, trying to judge the distance. He was coming up short. A good shot will come up short. Bogeyed 7, bogeyed 8, bogeyed 9. Just nothing was happening for him. No putts were going in. 7 bogeys in 9 holes, and didn't hit enough fairways. Only hit 7 fairways. And as he said it himself in the build-up, well, first of all, you got to be in the short grass to be able to play this golf course. Yeah. And he only hit 7 fairways. Didn't play great.
Now,
so,
as
77.
I was 77. Right? That's what, 6 over?
7 over.
7 over. Now, as I was following Rory, who made a brilliant start, par the first, birdied the second, birdied the third. It was on the leaderboard, but the other name on the leaderboard was Graham McDowell, who also made a good start.
Yeah, unbelievable start. Birdied the first 2 holes. Happy days, leading the tournament. I mean, dream stuff, isn't it?
Okay.
Goodman Wills must have been thrilled to see the old lad's name up there,
Why does it turn that? Is the belief seep out of him, or what? It's just been too long since
it was tough for that those first 2 hours.
Sorry. We need to say that.
Those first 2 hours, I mean, they were particularly difficult.
It was blown.
It was hang on to your hat stuff. It was just batten down the hatches, just see if we can just scrape together a few. The odd bogey doesn't, everybody's going to make a couple of bogeys. And he bogeyed 13, and he bogeyed 16, and he bogeyed 18. So he's only 1 over. And I was thinking back to what he said on the range before going out. He was talking about, what US Opens are like, and remembers his early ones, and one of his caddies saying to him, Graham, I just made a couple of bogeys, he said, and my caddy said to me, look, you don't have to birdie the next 5 holes. Let's just make 5 pars. And make 5 pars in the next 5 holes. It's almost as good.
Par is your friend.
And we're back in this, Unfortunately, it didn't go that way, for Graham. Bogeyed the first, second, fourth, sixth, 5 bogeys in the 7 holes. At a 6-footer at the last for a birdie, I think might get away with a 75. No, 76. So we've worked it. He'll struggle to make the cut from the. Could have to shoot level par tomorrow to make the cut.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. So Rory Bryan, a good start for the 6-time major winner, as you said or as you tweeted. Tell us about his round and what he said.
Yeah. Started on the back 9, very, very windy, made a couple of early birdies, 11 and 12. And, he was going along very nicely. The key to his round really was that, he putted well. He had 6 single putts. He was ranked about 6th for putting, for the day. And that was the key to it, really. He took the lead, actually, on the 5th hole, eagle, par 5, it's downwind, but he hit the drive 397 yards,
Yeah.
and he hit a wedge in from like 190 yards. I mean, to have that power in your locker when you need it.
Now, was
And he
driving,
knocked in the putt.
has been the problem this year.
Yeah.
How did he drive it generally?
He drove it well. He hit 10
Yeah.
fairways. You know, he
Okay.
drove it well, you know, and he was very happy. I mean, he bogeyed his last 2 holes, the 8th and the 9th. You know, he missed both greens with orange shots that he didn't feel were too bad, but they just got the wrong, you know, slightly too far, tad little too far left,
Yeah.
not getting up and down, you know. But he wasn't distraught over it or anything. You know, it was a 69, a 100 par, 69. He says, look, Anthony around par was a
Yeah.
good score today.
And at that stage, he was, what, 1 shot off the lead?
He was 1 shot off the lead. Sam Stevens was leading early on, you know, with a 200
I
par
don't know
round.
Sam Stevens.
Sam Stevens, well, his dad was a pro for a short while. His grandfather was a pro.
Okay.
You know, he's won 1 tournament on the PGA Tour, Latin America, in Colombia a few years ago. Hasn't won on the PGA Tour, a couple of seconds. You know, so
Right.
he's top 60 in the world. Journeyman is a bit strong, but you know, he's not a very well known one. But
Okay.
Rory was happy. You know, he just said it was a day just to not to shoot yourself out of it. Remember here, you know, in 2018, he shot 80 in the first round.
Yeah.
Didn't putt well.
Yeah.
He said it was just par is your friend. Minimise the mistakes.
Okay.
Anthony around par was good. You know, he was 3 under, okay, but 1 under, and he's tied for second place.
Now, as Rory was going to the interview room, I was walking with Shane to the 10th tee at 3:37 was the tee time. No, it was 3:47 was the tee time, and I was there at 3:37 to watch him walk onto the tee where he was getting ready to start. Now, given the crazy forecast last night, Brian, we thought he was unlucky with the draw,
Yeah.
that they were going to get the worst of the weather. Then you had the 2-hour delay. Then we wondered whether he'd actually got lucky, that with the 2-hour delay, with the really bad weather that was forecast, that he might not play at all and could come back tomorrow to start.
Yeah.
That's not quite how it panned out.
No, I mean, it was when he started, it was breezy, but it was the breeze that, you know, the 20 mile an hour.
So I would say the same. When he started, the breeze was the same as what Rory got, because Rory started on 10 tee.
Yeah.
Similar, but then it definitely got easier as
It got easier
evening went
as the
on.
day got on. It was
Yeah.
warmer as well, so the ball was flying a little bit further. He got off to a good start.
Yeah.
You know, made an early birdie, dropped 1. You know, and he was going along lovely. You know, and then he got to the 16th hole. You know, which was on his front 9, par 5, and you know he'd been talking in the build-up about not compounding your mistakes, and he did there. He made a double bogey 7. You know, missed the green with his 3rd shot from the heavy rough, which was understandable, but it didn't hit a great pitch, and 3 putts from there. You know, so that was a bit of a blow.
Yeah.
Then it was beautiful as he was heading down the front 9, his back 9, and a couple of bogeys. Bogey the 2nd from bunker to bunker, almost actually hole the 2nd bunker shot, but bogey the next one. So you know, 4 over par. He's through. He's got a few holes to play, and he's 4 over par, tied for 92nd. So you know, he's going to have to go out in the morning and maybe try and pick one up if he can, you know, and then go straight back out again.
Now, play was called. He's still, as you say, he's still out there. Play was called at 8:25 tonight. There are still 80 in groups.
Yeah, we got
on
another
the
couple of
course.
hours, at least another 2.5 hours to play
in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, the leaders are all part of the second wave. The leaders are all in that second wave. They were supposed to have the worst of the weather. Now listen, look at my face. I went out and got right reddening. I actually had a wetsuit on, or wet bottoms on. What do they call it? Wet bottoms, is that? No.
Yeah, waterproof bottoms on.
Waterproof bottoms. What wet bottoms is that? Waterproof bottoms. As I was following Shane,
To be sure.
I'd no cap on. I'd no sunscreen on, and jeez, I came in after 4 holes, and there's the result, glowing.
Yeah, well, it was a bit overcast in the morning, and that's when you get caught in these sort of seaside type conditions. Yeah. So you got scorched. Yeah.
I got scorched.
Yeah.
And not only did I get scorched, but clearly Dustin Johnson is a fan of the show, because he took great offence to the fact that I couldn't remember his name last night. I went straight to the top of the leaderboard at one stage.
I know. Yeah, I think he birdied 1, 2, 3, and 4, whatever,
the
to
back
go to the
9.
top of the leaderboard. Who's at the top of the leaderboard?
So top of the leaderboard now is
Wyndham Clark.
Wyndham Clark, who took I don't know, what was it, an iron or a driver to the locker room in
Oakmont.
Oakmont
The
last
beautiful
year.
locker rooms. They're not quite as nice as the urinals
No.
in Shinnecock Hills, but he battered a couple of lockers after missing the cut.
He was played so
He was
bad.
defending champion.
He battered a few defending champion, yeah. And he's coming here now, and he leads by four.
He's 6 under par with through 17 holes. Through 17 holes. So yeah, there's a lot of U.S. Open champions. In fact, there's 7 U.S. Open champions in there in the top 18 or so, 19 players. So Wyndham Clark, 6 under par, putted like a god.
Okay.
Top of the tree for putting. I mean, he's won recently. He came in here playing really well, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got a big group on 2 under par. Sam Stevens, he finished 68. Ryder Cowan, who's an amateur from Oklahoma, 21.68. Max McGreevy, 68. And then another 4 who haven't finished yet. Matt Fitzpatrick was highly fancy coming in here, the English guy, former champion 2022. DJ, your pal, 15 holes played. Gary Woodland, who has come through, you know, all sorts of medical issues.
Yeah.
2019 champion, 15 holes. And the live man, John Ram, who's played 13 holes, 21. And we can exclusively reveal that we all know was going to happen. I met his mum and his dad. He's definitely playing Toombek, so he's looking forward to getting tucked into some good Irish food. They love it. They love it. They love it. They love it in Ireland. The Rams, apparently, they love it.
Brian never takes a minute off. He's always out looking for stories.
Yeah, and then Rory is tied for 9th.
So Rory is
a big group on 1 under at the moment. You know, Aberg, who played with him, 69. Grieserman, Brian Harmon, Open champion. Ben Jones, there's that young fellow who played well the other day, and then there's Corey Connors, Bryson DeChambeau, Ben Coles, and Anika Hidalgo. They've all got holes to play.
Will that affect his tee time tomorrow? The fact that they boys it out early, he'd be playing a bit later.
Well, it'll be a bit later than they expected. They're obviously going to start at 6:30 again.
Dare I ask about the weather forecast?
Do we ask about the weather forecast?
Given they got it so wrong today.
I think they are expecting more breeze, I think they'll be cutting the greens, and just rolling them in the morning. And it's pitch black out there now.
Brian, what I want you to do now is get that early bus again, walk out on that terrace, light up the hamlet, and tweet a prediction for the day.
A prediction for the day. Well, it'd be nice to see a nice round from Rory McIlroy and Shane Larry. Padraig and Graham, we need to go a bit tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.